Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Uh, in this channel, I'm going to talk a lot about embedded systems, power electronics, electric vehicles, automotive, and also anything about electronics in general. So, I'm Dinesh. I'm in my fourth year of engineering. So, uh, today I'm going to explain you how do you write a UART code, UART interfacing code on VSDL for an XC9500 CPLD. So here is the block diagram and your ASM chart. This is your block diagram for a general UART system. You have 8 bits which you would be sending on your channel from your PC to the board, and you would also have a logic 0 which would be indicating a start bit, and a stop bit would be indicated by logic 1, and you also have a parity bit. So I'll be uploading this PPT and the code entirely on the description box, so do check it out. Now let's go for the working of a UART. So you have a logic 0 which is indicating your start bit, and then you have 8 bits which you would be sending through your word as a word data, and you would have a parity bit for error correction, and another stop bit would be sent through logic 1. So if anyone asks you how a UART works, you can basically explain with the help of this block diagram with just a very just a very introductory simple explanation. Okay. uh, Most of the interviews basically ask this UART, I2C and SPI, because they're serial communication protocols, and it's a very important part of embedded systems as of now. And let's move on to the ASM chart for the code. So this is the most important thing. What is an ASM chart now? ASM chart basically means algorithmic state machine. Okay. It's very similar to data structures in C, where you can use data structures to represent any kind of code. How do you exactly, uh, represent stacks, queues, and hash tables, and so on? The same way, you can actually use an ASM to make your code much simpler, and also, reduce the complexity of understanding of things. You can just use signals and stuff for going through it. So out on this ASM chart, the ready state would be basically used to check whether the user wants to send the data or not. Now in our case, the ready state is basically the start bit. Okay. uh, your start bit would basically be a DIP switch on your board. If you press that DIP switch, it will turn high, and if you do not press it, it will turn low. Okay. Now if the user wants to send the data, he'll then go to the send data block. Okay. The send data block would keep sending this 8 bits of data, and we should just go on to this loop like this: send data, all data transmitted. This will just keep on going to this loop unless and until the data has been completely transmitted. Okay. And then you would have this check flag box, which would basically be used to check your baud rate. Now what is baud rate? Baud rate is like your data transmission rate. Like out here we are going to use a 9600 baud rate with a 100 megahertz clock frequency. So I'm assuming a 100 megahertz clock frequency, and accordingly made my code. And this user start checkbox would basically be that it just this entire loop would just keep on going until and unless your entire data has been transmitted. So this is another checkbox which would be used for checking your entire data has been transmitted or not. Okay, pretty simple and really easy to understand. Let's go back to the code now. So I'm using an ISC 14.7, Xilinx ISC 14.7, and I'll also talk about this installation part in my later videos, but let's go on with the UART part now. Okay, so we have declared two ports, start and the clock bit, in your in standard logic, and then you have a TX part as the out standard logic. Now we'll be using a 100 megahertz clock frequency. So if you divide 100 million by 9600, you would get 10,416. Okay, and that's how this works. You would have two signals for your baud rate, and four signals for your data transmission rate, and and three states basically: ready, send data, and check bit. So then you begin your baud rate generation process clock, begin. Now we'll be checking the rising edge of your clock. If the rising edge is your clock is 1, then you would go to the ready state. Okay, this ready state would then make your count 0, your bit count. Okay, it will make it 0, and then if the count is less than 10,416, it would keep on counting those number of bits. So this would basically be used for synchronization. Okay, this process जो है आपका, ये जो process है, ये पूरा synchronization के लिए use होगा. Sorry for telling in Hindi, but if you do feel like I should speak in Hindi in my later videos, do drop a comment. It really encourages me to make more videos for you guys. So yeah, so the flag bit out here would be basically acting as a start bit. Okay, so if the flag is 0, that means your entire your data has your baud rate has been synchronized and we can go up with it. And if the flag is 1, that means your baud rate hasn't been synchronized. Okay, and you have to send the data. So let's go to the data transmission process. So the data transmission process would have two things. It would have a rising edge and a stop and a check bit flag, and accordingly you can see how this code goes on. We will be sending a capital A on your UART, and on the output you will see through the terminal output that this would basically be sending an A, capital A. Okay, and so on and so forth, and then you have your TX as TX temp, and you're done. Let's go to the output window now. I've taken a screenshot of this output window on my PPT. So here's the output window. So do check it out. It's like you have when you have your 8 bits of data being sent between these two parts. Okay, your data is sent between them, and then you have a parity and a stop bit out here. Okay, why is it 1 now? Many people might be thinking, why is your TX temp, your TX part all 1? Well, this basically indicates the start of your data transmission. The transmission would start, then it would stop, and then you're done. Okay, and here's the RTS schematic of my code. Thanks for watching. If you have any doubt, please comment below.